Nityanandam, Jnanapadati Manual, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadushnam Tattvamasyaadilakshmyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing with life. Playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained what is power manifestation. Everything decides as you want. You become the kalpatru of your life, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. It's a science because millions have experienced that, and each one of us can experience that. Science of our manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. The pramanas, just by listening to the pramanas, like satsang, it transforms us from what we understand as mind, which is the self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred, to the space of oneness with Paramashiva, the consciousness, living as superconscious being on planet Earth. Shastra Pramana, the scriptural reference, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures as Vedas and Agamas. Apta Pramana, the experience and the results of the Aptas, they are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas, Yogis, Yoginis, Rudra, Rudrakanyas, Emperors, Grahastas, all were manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. They are the authority of Hinduism. All the powers were authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof that they manifested. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Parameshwaram, this Millennium's Avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. Bhagavan's very own Leela to showcase to the world how you can live as superconscious being conscious sovereignty as your reality. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of the millions of devotees, disciples, followers all around the world initiated by Bhagavan into the science of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully says, whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard is like a Garbha Mandir. He simply can heal you, transform you into the superconscious being, make all your desire into reality, and all the greatest things as your reality. And when you feel the oneness with Paramashiva, it just gets manifested in your life as reality. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Paramashiva has beautifully given in Avatar Shastra what happens to our brain when we manifest powers every day. The prefrontal cortex, which is very much responsible for manifesting all the greater reality, traveling in the other vertical time zone, parallel universe, for the synergy trigger to happen, exactly that is measured in the science. How the Kundalini energy raises to Agnya, you can experience the next dimension, next possibility, and manifest all your desire into reality. For the power of clairvoyance, let's go to the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana is from the source scriptures, is from the Shiva Samhita 5.8384. Panchama Patala by Ishvara.
Senses can be changed when the whole thing.
This Shastra Pramana is taken from the Shiva Samhita 5.83. Jnananya cha pratimam tasya trikala vishayam bhavet dura shrishti dura drishti swechaya kagatam vrajet Jnananya cha pratimam tasya trikala vishayam bhavet dura shrishti dura drishti swechaya kagatam vrajet.
Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully says in the Shiva Samhita 5.8384, Panchama Patala by Ishvara, Bhagavan says, by he gets immeasurable experience, knowledge, knows the past, present, future, has the Dura Drishti and Dura Shishti, and that is the power of clairvoyance. Having experienced your senses 7 times, if you measure your height, and 7 times your height at that distance, if you can experience the 5 senses, you have mastered the senses. Bhagavan beautifully says, as long as the input for your 5 senses comes from outside, for example, you see an ice cream, eat an ice cream, and you feel so nice about it, then the input is from the outer world. Then you are living in a materialistic life, which is prone to more delusion and more pain and more problems. But if you understand, when you're eating the ice cream, it is consciousness. Because your consciousness, you're recognizing the taste of the ice cream, and through that space, you are eating the ice cream. Then completely, there is no verbalization, visualization. You are in the enjoying ice cream to the fullest what the ice cream is. Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully says how Rama, when Sita left him and taken by Ravana, he started rolling and crying all over the place. And Lakshmana told him, why are you crying like that? And even I don't have my wife here, I don't cry. And simply after that, he just goes into samadhi. He is not enacting anything. He is pure into what he is expressing. Like, for example, you are not run by patterns if you don't have verbalization, visualization behind your anger or sadness or any of the emotion that you go through. If you don't have the narrative, then you are in the pure consciousness. Like for a child will be throwing a tantrum, bring the whole house down, but it'll be in the pure space of consciousness. It does not have any intention, nor any idea, nor any verbalization, visualization of powerlessness, nothing. It is simply just manifesting the reality as it is. Same way, when Krishna was painting the nail of Radha, the just a milkmaid woman, and everybody asked, the whole Devata came and asked, what is that Krishna is doing? And simply there was no narrative, there's nothing in his. He was just in that samadhi space, what he was doing. But completely the whole narration happens, then you are deluded. That's why Durvasa anger only brings auspiciousness, or Krishna's all this whatever he is manifesting only brings auspiciousness. When you're in the pure space expressing any of the emotion, it only leads to auspiciousness. All these great signs, again and again, when we understand how we are living, we are constantly deluded by the 5 senses, that it is giving something a pleasure from outside, or it triggers you from the outside. Bhagavan says if it is triggering you from outside, you are living a mediocre life. When you have the intelligence, the cognition that whatever you are experiencing is after all a delusion, you are consciousness and you are more prioritized. Consciousness is real, Paramashiva is real. When you are in such a space of oneness, you will not get prioritized to all the verbalization and visualization. And simply, if you don't have the verbalization, visualization, you know that narrative does not even stand. When the light happens, there is a huge shadow. When there is a light through a pinhole, there is a huge shadow which forms. But if you see, the light which occupies the whole space is much more than the shadow. But if you focus on the shadow, you are constantly running to fix the shadow. If we understand, Bhagavan says, only when there is a problem, then you have a narrative. And if you don't have a remembrance of anything, then you don't have any narrative. Like Bhagavan says, when the shoe fits, you forget your leg. When the hat fits, you forget your head. Same way, when life fits, you forget all these in completion. You are in such a oneness space with Paramashiva. Bhagavan beautifully gives us the Apta Pramana from Mahabharata. Veda Vyasa, one of the greatest happening, Maharishi Veda Vyasa compiled the greatest epic Mahabharata, and he wanted somebody to write the whole thing, and he is being blessed with Ganesha, Lord Ganesha, to come down and write. Bhagavan says, anytime you call Ganesha, he's always available for us, always available, and simply he will manifest. And Ganesha comes and says, okay, I will write. But Ganesha says you should not stop your anywhere in between. And Vedavyasa says, I will not stop, but you should understand the context what I'm writing, and from that context only you should write. And then Ganesha starts writing, and suddenly his pen breaks because he was in such a completion. He doesn't have any narration inside. He was in pure oneness with what Vedavyasa was saying. He spontaneously was able to break his task and use that as the pen and start writing. This is from the Mahabharata, chapter 2. All this that we can experience the higher reality when we are in deep oneness with Paramashiva. Bhagavan beautifully says how he was initiated by his yoga guru into the mantra. Every word is a mantra when Guru speaks. And when he was beautifully a small child, how Bhairava protected him and how his yoga guru trained him for the higher reality to manifest in him.
It's like a giant family. You don't know who is who and what is what, and who is whose husband or whose daughter and all those things. It's a giant family. And I never used to know my relatives or family people and all those things. 11 people used to be always around me. So I thought something like just like a normal thing. Only after I met Raghupati Yogi, the moment he initiated me, I'll describe later on how the initiation happened and all those things. The moment he initiated me, all the 11 have disappeared. And I've never seen them again. When I asked Raghupati Yogi, he was shocked and he said, they must be Bhairavas. Bhairavas, maybe they were protecting your body. And I neither understood nor appreciated his comment. I neither understood his comment nor appreciated what he meant. And I just left it. In my young age, I used to have a notebook in which I'll write all the stories which I hear from the saints, or some instructions. This Raghupati Yogi is a person, very meticulous person. Whenever he teaches me something, he will force me to write down. Anyhow, fortunately, my mother preserved all those notebooks. We got the notebooks, now it is in the ashram. We should thank her for preserving all these beautiful relics. She has preserved the whole thing, because after I left the house, the family went through a lot of change. Means the house shifting from place to place. Some 3-4 places they shifted the house. She did not protect the furnitures or all the other things which she had in the house, but she protected all these things very carefully. Actually, in the notebook I have written in my own hand, maybe around the age of 10 or something, about this 11 Bhairavas also. Before eating, I used to do morning puja. In the puja time, I'll repeat this, all the gods' names. In that, I used to repeat this 11 Bhairavas' names. Because this Raghupati Yogi said, later on, when I read Sharada Devi's life, I realized Sharada Devi was also protected by 8 Sakhis of Devi when she was a baby. When she was a baby, 8 Sakhis of Devi, 8 attendants of Devi used to be always with Sharada Devi. She says, only when I read that, I understood the comment of this Raghupati Yogi. Earlier, I was neither able to understand nor able to appreciate. Actually, I asked Raghupati Yogi, then why did they disappear now? He said, now they have handed over you to me because now I am taking care. There is no need for them to be here. That's the reason they are not around you. They are not here physically. This Raghupati Yogi is one of my great inspiration. I can say he's a first teacher. Even though he himself is not an enlightened person, he happened in my life for a purpose. I can say my whole physical strength I vow to him. My body is able to be alive and hold the enlightenment. See, enlightenment is like bringing some 3-4 elephants into this small hut. What will happen to this hut? Like that only enlightenment. But still my body is alive, active and talking to you means that single soul, Raghupati Yogi, is responsible. I remember him really with great respect and gratitude. Because at the age of 3, he chose me. I neither know about yoga, nothing. He chose me. Actually, he used to stay in the same street where my house was there, where I was born and brought up. In the same street, he used to stay. So he was a close friend of my father and grandmother and everybody, the whole family. He was born and brought up in Burma. In that time, Burma was not separate place. Burma was almost like India. And he stayed with the Tibetan Lamas also for quite a long time and learned this yoga and all those things with them. He himself is an adept, master in yoga.
Shakshi Pramana are the
Beautifully, you can see how Bhagwan had manifested the Bhairavas and how he had the glimpse of them always being there for just first 3 years, and how he understood that Sarada Devi also had the same thing. Devi, 8 Shakis of Devi were there around her. All this great happening on planet Earth is not from the regular way they are born. The light energy simply goes to the mother womb and creates the higher reality, and they come as avatars to manifest all this great science in all of us to experience the greater science. Now you can see the Balasans, how she's been asked to read at a distance and she's able to read. And also the actions was performed, whatever was performed, she was able to see. And Balasans have demonstrated in many schools about 50 feet from where they were standing on the stage, and they were able to look at 50 feet and say what is that, and even letters, words and different colors, they were able to identify the objects at 50 feet. And now you can see how she is demonstrating.
What am I doing next? Squatting?
Wow, this is really impressive. I'm just really, really blown away by this. So, can you see pretty much, that was pretty far away. That was, I would say, maybe 6-7 feet at times.
Beautifully, at 6 feet, she is able to look at the whole thing very clearly. Now we are going to experience the same thing. We can have a book with a partner, or you can keep a book 15 feet away, 5 feet away from where you are. You can keep living Advaita book or living enlightenment book, or you can have Bhagavad Gita book, and you can sit 15 feet away from that and wear your eye bands. Eye bands are just to make this place completely dark so that your prefrontal cortex can show you the words exactly, and you can write down the words. And if you don't have anything that you can keep at 15 feet and you have a partner who wants to give you the words, wonderful. You can ask your partner to keep the book in where they are and mark the page clearly and tell you, and you can see through your third eye and you can read whatever is written, and whatever Paramashiva shows you, you can write down and verify that at the end of the cycle. Now let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Bring the powerful space, Paramashiva is real, consciousness is real, and bring your listening to your third eye. Unclutch from everything that you know as who you are, your body, your mind, and all that you are going through, and all the narration, verbalization, visualization which is going on. Completely surrender everything at Bhagavan's lotus feet. How you go into the sleep just by listening to something or reading something. Same way, by chanting the Mahavakya, we are going to experience the oneness, dropping everything what you know as your body, mind, and all your incompletion. The more and more you are able to see your body, also your consciousness. Simply, Bhagavan says, consciousness can suck you into the space of next dimension, next time space possibility, and you start experiencing the higher dimension. In the parallel universe, the synergy trigger happens, and simply you can explore any of the higher dimension and reflect it into this dimension. Like Bhagavan says, you're already manifesting, and that is already a possibility in the quantum space. Only thing you have to just relax yourself in the restful awareness that you can have the synergy trigger happen in the parallel universe. Whatever you're doing, you can manifest that into this reality. All that we need to know is we are beyond the past, present, future, as the sutra said, and we are consciousness, and time is completely what we perceive in our reality. It is not true. The time becomes zero when your thought becomes zero, and you fall into the next dimensions, next possibility, and simply you can manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Absolute unclutching and complete completion makes you experience that. And that is the Tyaga that Bhagavan says as Sarva Parityagi, ready to give up anything to experience Paramashiva, and deep falling in oneness with Paramashiva in deep gratitude, and melting in Paramashiva in his lotus feet again and again, simply experiencing the higher reality. When you melt in Paramashiva, you start experiencing the higher dimension and all your desire getting fulfilled. All we need to do is ready to surrender at Bhagavan's lotus feet, and in humble surrender asking Bhagavan to simply show you all that whatever is in the book. By chanting intensely with a deep listening, the more you chant Mahavakya with a deep listening, you are going to experience the oneness very strong, and the third eye will simply show you the higher reality. If you don't want to close your eyes, that's fine, but it is up to you how you are perceiving beyond what you call this as the materialistic world as consciousness. The more you are able to experience that, more it will be vivid and clear in your third eye. Now let's start chanting the Mahavakya with a deep listening for the power of clairvoyance, reading the word at a 15 feet.
Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita-pur, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita-pur, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour. Let the Varni open up. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Whatever Paramashiva has shown you, please go ahead and verify the detail. It is a prasada from Paramashiva, whatever he's showing you. Again and again, verify the detail authentically. It's nothing to do with your logical mind. Beyond what you know as your logical happening, there exists the consciousness, which is the very reason how things are functioning. But if you're able to tap that intelligence, we will not be driven by all the outer world, the obsessive compulsive reactionary space. We'll be driven by Paramashiva as real, and all the inputs to us will be Paramashiva. Again and again, Bhagavan is giving us the greatest signs and also making us manifest all this greatest signs in our very cognition, in our very reality. We'll have one more cycle. You can have different pages now, and you can set it up even if you don't see anything. Holding that space, Paramashiva is real. You can start reading simply the whole thing that is there. All the Ballasans, when they start reading, they do not read anything correctly. It takes some of them immediately read, but most of them, they read whatever they are seeing in the perception. Without judging, they just say, I am able to read. Again and again, they are very clear they are able to read. Once they know that Paramashiva is told, then I have to do it. It has to become reality in my space. When they hold that beautiful context, the feeling connection with Bhagwan, they simply manifest very fast. The kids who manifest the fastest are the people, are the kids who have such authority over Bhagwan that I know he has given me, I will manifest. Anything in life, when you feel Brahmanya Bahuputartam, that you are the favorite inheritance of the cosmos, he will simply flow through you as reality. The more and more the trust and feeling connection in you, simply the surrender happens. And simply the surrender happens, the more trust starts happening. The powerful space opens up in you that you are Paramashiva, and that is why your own existence feel this way. And you start understanding the ultimate space and the parallel universe, and simply the whole synergy trigger happens. So we'll have one more cycle now. You can keep your book at 15 feet. And if you have a partner, you can ask them to give you from some other books and some other pages. And whatever words appear, you can just write it down and you can simply experience the greater reality. Now, once you've decided the book and the distance, you completely put away your gadgets or your pencil or paper and sit very clearly. Sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Start chanting the Mahavakya intensely from your navel center with a deep breathing. and be listening to manifest the power of clairvoyance. Let's start.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amritapur, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amritapur, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. 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 नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nityananda Paramashivam.
Beautiful. Whatever you have experienced, please go ahead, share it in the tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is under Bhagwan's picture. You can see at the left corner of the screen. And you can go ahead and share all this greater truth. Why do I need to share? Bhagavan beautifully said in the Atma Pramana how he would write everything down, whatever instruction, whatever powerful cognition that comes, and he would write. And all the Balasans, all of them had the Book of Hearts. And we used to write all the powerful cognition in that. So whenever there is some law that is happening, we can take the book and see how we have manifested Paramashiva and how it is so real in our life. That is why when we go on sharing, which is most important part of power manifestation, Bhagavan says extreme manifestation is extreme causing and extreme causing is extreme manifestation. Like if you want to cook something, you have everything ready, but you need the gas, the light, the fire, and that is the main thing. And like that, the enriching and causing is one of the most important part of the power manifestation, because when you write down all this powerful cognition and start recognizing Paramashiva, your experience as reality, more and more you will start recognizing your own space. Paramashiva is real. Consciousness is real. Scriptures are real. And sharing with your friends and family literally reflects in you the Paramashiva space in such a powerful way. And if you see the $sign at the end of the YouTube chat, you can click on it and offer your whatever gratitude to Bhagwan at his lotus feet, to Kailasha. If you go to any temple, the first thing you see the hundi, and that is because whatever you are so much in the space of oneness, you want to give something, you can offer your gratitude. All this sharing and gratitude only expands the Kailasha space in your inner space. Bhagavan says having a beautiful inner space is all about the manifestation of your life, and having Kailasha as your inner space is the ultimate reality. So go ahead, contribute whatever you want at your Guru's lotus feet. And with that, let's surrender all this powerful cognition, power manifestation at Bhagwan's lotus feet in deep gratitude, thanking Bhagwan and thanking all of you in all the social media, collective integrity, collective consciousness, and simple integrity, simple obedience, manifesting the powers of Paramashiva every single day, doing the Jnanapada, and simply raises your superconscious space in you. Bhagavan says each of the power manifestation raises your molecular structure in you and makes you more and more manifest higher realities. So with that, let's end the session with a deep earning that Paramashiva is real in my thought, word, and action, and seeing everything as Paramashiva, everyone as Paramashiva as my reality. Holding this powerful cognition, ending the session with the Purna mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओं तत्सत् सर्वं भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवं पादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ नित्यानन्दम्. Thank you so much. The next session will be at 6 p.m. IST and you can join through eKailasha in the Zoom session. Thank you, Nityananda.